And welcome to another edition of Thoughts of the Roundtable with me, Matt Rebar.
And me, Paul Laux.
And this is the second time we're recording this episode because the first time you would have thought that we were like in Antarctica on like Cricket Wireless with like it just was like so bad.
It's like we've recorded the whole thing at like Metro PCS. Like it was just the worst.
Like we were using like the free Wi-Fi at like some like government building or something. Like every like 30 seconds it just kept crashing and stalling and freezing. And I gotta be honest with you, Paul, I didn't even try and piece it together.
It was terrible. And then I tried to upload my audio and it said it was going to take 54 hours. I'm like, bro, this is not.
Yeah, it's a sign from
right.
God. So we figured we would do what we were going to do on that episode, but we'll do a shorter version. And basically it was kind of like
2020. What a way to end 2020, really.
It was really the epitome of 2020 in that one podcast recording because nothing was going right. Nothing went as expected. It was kind of a hot mess. We kind of had fun, but was also frustrated with it.
You had fun. I was so mad.
So you're 2020, Paul. What were some highlights for you?
Well, the one and only was the birth of my daughter. She was born January 19th, and everything else that was just kind of downhill.
Yeah. You literally had like a month of like normal parenthood until you had to be a COVID parent.
No joke. It was quite literally. Like we had about a month of like our family helping us out, and everything broke out, and we were showing, Adeline to our sibling or my siblings and my family through the window, and then it's just been like that ever since.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so do you feel like you're doing better as a parent because of COVID, or like you feel like you're not doing as well as you would wish you were as a parent, if that makes sense?
Nobody ever feels like they're a good parent, I feel like, especially because around every corner someone's telling you you're not doing something right. Mm-hmm. So and plus this is my first one, so I don't really know. But I have found out that the world of parenting is basically you trying to do your best and people just judging you 24/7 for like everything, like literally everything. It's like, oh, wow, you used cotton pajamas? Oh, my God. It's like, bitch, what was I supposed to use?
But I feel like the sign of a good parent is that you're constantly questioning whether or not you're a good parent. Does that make sense?
It does. And I've actually told that before. It's like if you're questioning if you're a good parent or not, you probably are.
Like if you, how do I say this like politely? If you're like, I'm a fine parent, I could care less, or like you have no inflection or passion about it, like I don't know, that might be a bad sign. But I think that's good. I think that's healthy that like you're constantly like evaluating yourself, like, could I be doing better? Could I be doing worse?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of judging from. You know what I found out was the best thing is joining dad groups on Facebook.
Oh, like how's that going for you? I feel like that's right up your alley.
It's hilarious because it's things like, hey, I'm first time dad. I don't know what to do with this situation, this situation. And then I swear to God, like all of a sudden you'd be like, hey, I just made some great ribs. Here's the rub I made. And it was like a recipe for like a rib rub. And it's like the most dad thing you've ever seen in your life.
How many dad jokes are there on the dad Facebook groups?
Surprisingly low, but there is a lot of recipes for meat. A lot of recipes.
Oh my gosh. So at least I know in the future who I'm going to go get my rib rubs. Oh my God. You know what I'm trying to say.
I will. The funniest thing about it, though, is that you haven't had to experience this, but when fathers go, into the hospital as their wife's giving birth or whatever, hospitals famously give us like this. It's just a chair, basically, like an office chair. And like, this is what you get to sleep on for the next 2 days. It's like literally the most uncomfortable thing you could ever imagine in your life. And so the profile picture is just one of those chairs.
Oh, wow. That's perfect.
The father's sleeping. But the funny thing about it is it's Facebook. So I would see an international group and someone from like every once in a while from like the UK will be like, what is it with you guys in America? We get free beds like in our hospitals. We're like, oh, of course you do.
Oh, of course
Shut
you do.
up, Brit.
I have to be honest. I'm part of like a few pages. Like some are like the Cleveland Comedy Facebook page, and like there's the Radio Peeps one that I know you comment a lot in.
Yeah.
But I've never comment or post in these groups. Like I'm
Sorry.
like I'm like purely a witness. Like I'm like a fly on the wall.
Are you one of those people who has a Facebook and is always on Facebook, but you never post on Facebook? You're just there
No,
looking.
I'm one of those people who like will post a little bit on Facebook, and just like my projects. I never post anything really personal. I mean, I guess my projects are personal, but like I'm not like on Facebook being like I had such a bad salad today, like blah blah blah, or like
Vague booking. Like, it's sad.
I don't tell people my socialist views on Facebook. I don't, really like.
You're
it's
a socialist?
Like, like a little bit, like social democrat for sure. But like I don't know. I don't really like. I'll just be like, here's my podcast with Paul, and here's this, and here's this. And in terms of like looking at social media, I was just talking about this the other day. I don't really like look through. Like maybe the first 10, 15 posts on Facebook and Instagram, but like I'm not really looking at stories. I'm not really like there's a few people that like I will genuinely look at their stories because like we're close and like blah blah blah. I want to see what they're going through, but like I can't imagine like I'm so busy with my life like sitting there and scrolling through like 40, 50 stories a day is like sounds exhausting to me.
The only time I ever do that, I'm not really an Instagram. I'm a Facebook scroller. But when I do scrolling for a while on Facebook, it's like right before bed. Like I'm laying in bed, and I'm just kind of like just zoning out. So for like half an hour or something, I'll just scroll through and just look.
See, and I wonder too. I kind of like I feel like dating apps are my social media. Like I spend a lot of time talking to people on dating apps. So I wonder if like if I become in a relationship, am I gonna focus all that energy? Where's that energy gonna go? Because like instead of like Tindering for an hour a day, will it go to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? Will it go somewhere else? Like I don't know.
It's
The
like
world
you're
may never
proving
know.
your own physics theory. Like energy has to go somewhere. It can't be like destroyed.
100%. Because like I was even thinking about it too. I talked to my grandma about this because I was just like,
Oh, yeah,
I just because grandma's the best. But I was like, back in like your day, like you didn't have like headphones and like things to listen to. Like you just if you went to the grocery store, like maybe you played radio in the car, but then like the whole time, like you're just kind of chilling with the groceries.
It's
And,
why
like,
everybody in
our
the
world-
50s was depressed.
Well, I feel like depression's up because like we're constantly like saturated with like material and audio and news.
That's
and,
true.
So
You're always like comparing yourself to other people and what they post, and well, they're having such a good time. The thing is, people
Yeah.
post other highlights and never post the lowlights.
exactly, and it's I keep that in mind a lot too because like I see people who I'm like, oh, like they're doing like cool things and I'm not, and then I remember like it's all subjective, man. Like we're all living very similar experiences in a way.
How do you feel about people posting going on vacation right about now? That always drives me nuts. Like it really
Well,
does.
it's a big thing on Twitter where like there's people on Twitter who are like, got my COVID vaccine, and then like people will be like, oh, is this you in Mexico? And it's so like partially funny, but partially like, wow, like what? Like I don't know. It's really like
They feel like because they
I
got
was
the
talking to a
vaccine, they're like,
friend. Yeah.
they feel like since they got the vaccine, they're just good to go. They just can just do anything.
Like my friend has a birthday in May and wants to do like a weekend trip, and I'm like, oh, like I don't know, and like I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call right now, especially because like the vaccine rollout is like moving slower than molasses in February. Like I don't get why. Like everything's messed up, man. It's like
Did you see the current rate of vaccination? They will have at the current rate they'll have everyone vaccinated by 2050.
oh my
It
god,
will take 30 years. But I would be so pissed if I was Pfizer right now. So pissed. Because you know how the vaccine that Pfizer came up with is 2 doses? It's like the initial one and then the booster. Out of literally nowhere, the UK is like, I don't think we're going to give people the second dose for a little bit. We're going to delay them. And Pfizer,
You
who worked their
can't
ass
do
off to make that,
that.
is like, why would you do that? They're like, we're just going to hold off. Maybe we can give more people the first dose. It's like,
what people
that's
don't
literally
understand
not how it works.
is the first dose gives you like 60% effectiveness. It's the second dose that takes you to 95.
Yeah. Well, that's why
So
Pfizer's
it's like
pissed.
just getting
They're
the
like,
first one.
it-
Like,
it's like we worked our ass off for this, and you're like, we're just not going to do that right.
it's ridiculous. Oh my god. Well, in my 2020 good news, let's see. I dropped 2 albums because I'm like Taylor Swift. I'm out here running away because I was going to do a lot of video projects, but obviously with COVID, I really couldn't do a lot of like I couldn't just go out with friends and film things and like you know what I mean. So
Right.
did a
Oh,
lot
I have
more music this year.
I have one more for my list, by the way, before we move on to
yeah,
yours.
for
I wrote a
sure.
book.
Oh yes, yes,
officially-
yes. And
it's officially done.
Where are we at? in the process?
It's just about being done edited, and
Okay.
by the end of the month, it should be off to Amazon.
Ooh, how exciting! That's gonna be fun.
I'm
I wish we
thrilled.
could do like a valid release party,
I know.
but
The funny thing is, it's gonna be like, I think KDP, which is like Kindle, whatever. And so, but it's like, all right, everybody got your Kindles, let's download it at the same time.
oh, that'd be, like we're all on Zoom doing like a read through. Well, that's exciting for you.
What if I had
really
Gilbert
pumped.
Gottfried read it, like the audiobook?
Oh God, I read. I mean, I'm sure things change, but the version I read, if Guilford Godfrey read it, I feel like that really takes you out of the story. It like really does not fit the story at
Like
all.
this subtly dark story, and there's Gilbert Gottfried, you know.
This like existentialist story with like, yeah, it just is it's a little clash there perhaps, but what else did I do 20? Well, I started my master's, which has been exciting. I'm really happy. I bought a house, which was like a lot of big responsible things, because it's pretty funny how, COVID hits in February, March of 2020, and my spending is just like, I'm suddenly flush with cash. Like I'm not traveling, I'm not drinking, I'm not partying, I'm not doing concerts or events. I'm staying home and I'm hiking and I'm making music in my basement or whatever.
You know what's
So
funny?
it's like, yeah.
Is how low the house was on your good things of 2020. Like it was this. Oh, and I bought a house. Like it was like a footnote.
You know what's funny? I have not done the obligatory, here's my house Instagram, Facebook photo. And now I feel like it's too long gone. Because it's like, what do I do? Be like, but by the way, I bought a house 4 or 5 months ago.
Why not?
But like, you know what? I think it's because it's not finished. There's like a lot of work that's been slowly and surely coming together. So I think that's why I've been hesitant to really like make it a big deal. Because like, I don't know. I think once I'm like finished, I'll be like, here's like a little tour. Here's like a little like look-see. I just installed the bar the other day and it looks great.
Oh, I want to see this.
It's just like, I mean, it's just like 2 shelves in the kitchen, but like it looks like a nice little kind of bar alcove area in the kitchen. It looks great.
You got to hang copper cups on it, make it official millennial.
Get some hooks for some cups and stuff. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Hey, want to move into the news because I got 2 great
Oh
stories.
yeah, what's some news?
Well, the first one is that, hold on, let me scroll to it. There have been official multiple Bigfoot sightings in Oklahoma.
Oh dear.
Official.
Oh dear.
There have been.
Define official.
I'm looking at the picture right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know, just officially reported, whatever that means. So I don't know, official conspiracy theorist, but it looks like just like a trash bag hanging out of a tree in this one picture. But who knows? It's Oklahoma. What else do you got to do in Oklahoma? No offense.
Okay,
to
no
Oklahoma.
offense. If Bigfoot is alive, he's not in Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Like he's gonna be in some place with mountains.
He's
gonna
gonna be like
he's not gonna be in the field dustpan of Oklahoma.
No, he's gonna be in like Soho on like a balcony somewhere.
He's like just like sipping a Mai Tai on the phone. Like they got it messed up again. They think I'm in Oklahoma. I'm here.
Can you imagine? He's
in
probably got like a
Soho.
man bun sitting out there.
He's like, oh,
man,
these
I
dolts.
want to see hipster Bigfoot so bad.
I gotta tell you, I'd rather find the Loch Ness monster than Bigfoot. That's more interesting to me because Bigfoot
Yeah.
just feels like some hairy man or a bear. Someone was like, "Oh my god, it's big! you know what I mean?" Like at least the Loch Ness monster feels like, okay, that could be a thing. I don't know.
And I kind of feel like the Loch Ness monster maybe have some sort of truth to it. Like that one's like the Bigfoot, whatever. It's not real. I mean, it's just not.
So, like, I guess this is my question. So, meteor comes and kills the dinosaurs, according to pretty much everyone, but like extremist Christians, right? So,
Wait, they don't believe that
land-
happened? Oh,
No,
the
they
6,000
believe
years
in
thing.
like God and humans. Like they believe in that.
Yeah.
So okay. So the land mammals get wiped out, but then did the ocean, like what happened to the ocean life when the meteor hit?
The ocean life thrived.
Yeah, so then is it possible that like some of these water dinosaurs, I don't know.
And they got trapped in there.
I don't know how they'd get like I just like imagine like a mime just like miming trapped in the loch just like looking for a way out.
Well, it could have. The water moved around and then it got trapped over the millions of years. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I saw this. Well, it's kind of sad, but I think it happened a couple months ago in Honduras. The country spent like millions of dollars building this bridge over this this river. It's like half-mile river or whatever, and they had a huge storm, and it just rerouted the river. So now it's this bridge in the middle of nowhere.
No, that is that is like 2020 for them. Jesus,
it's like literally the funny part is it moved it about a mile like left, so the bridge is like just basically on the edge of the river now.
No way. I'd be pissed if I was like in charge of the bridge construction or like the budgeteer for the bridge. Oh my God.
Okay. I also got, you got to listen to this. I don't even know this is illegal, but since a lot of strip clubs closed down because of everything, apparently there's a couple that are doing delivery food service and a striptease at your door.
First of all, I would like to have food. Like, let me. How do I phrase this?
There's a picture with this article.
I feel like strip clubs do not serve great food. Like,
I've never had food at a strip
great
club.
food and strip clubs don't. No, I mean I've never been to a strip club. It's kind of on my to-do list, just out of the curiosity. But
it's not fun.
Just the concept of like there being great food that you'd be like, honey, what do you want for dinner? And it's like, oh my gosh, we need Crazy Horse to go delivery food and striptease at the door. Also, what's that like? Do they just come up, they drop the bag, and then they just kind of like wait for you to come up, and then they just dance?
I don't know. The picture they have is just two strippers holding brown paper bags. So I don't know.
But like, it's freezing in Cleveland. I can't imagine how that would work.
Well, it looks like it's cold. Like, wherever this is
in
at,
Florida.
like,
This feels very Florida to me, to have strippers doing takeout delivery / striptease at the door.
Tennessee.
Okay. It's not too bad there right now. It's probably like 50, but still, gosh. I mean, you know what? I respect small businesses that are trying to hustle right now, so it's hard for me to really be judgmental. But I also feel like in Tennessee too, they're not really probably they're not really abiding by the COVID rules, so
no.
They're probably just going to the strip clubs anyway. They're not probably using the service too much.
So you've never been to one?
No, I've never been to a strip club. I want to go, not because I would enjoy it per se, but like the sociologist in me likes to kind of experience different subcultures.
You're just gonna sit in the corner with like a notebook and like writing things down
with like circular like glasses, just like, oh, I see how that is. But honestly, I feel like I should try one with the food because, like I said, I just don't think a strip club has good food. So,
you know what you should do? You know how he did an episode on bathrooms of Cleveland? Strip club buffets of Cleveland.
There's probably only like 3 or 4. There can't be that many.
First, second, third prize. Give them out.
Yeah, we give them a free $10 gift card to Melt or something.
Just one for the entire place. You got to share it.
Yeah, you got to share it. Takeout and stripping. Wow. I never thought that would be a thing, but hey, the more you know. Well, I have a quick little advice for you. So this is a story, basically long story. She's a residential faculty member at a boarding school just out of college. They have a partner of several years who lives a couple hours away by train, which I'm like, okay, that's definitely not a U.S. situation because a couple hours by train, like, have you ever taken a train in the United States? It takes like 40 hours to get like down the block. It's insane.
Like, when they say sane, is it train? Is it like a subway or like a literal choo-choo train?
I'm thinking a literal like a train, so
like an Amtrak.
Like Europe, like they're actually like getting places quickly. So basically, she said because of the school's religious heritage, which is no longer very strong or apparent, the reader writes, unmarried faculty members are not allowed to have significant others stay outside of weekends because they will set a bad example for the kids. So she then said, too, that she wanted to make sure I was, quote, fully present for boarding students. Many married people live with their partners on campus and they aren't distractions. I feel like I'm being treated crazy, blah, blah, blah. Here's my biggest take on this. I would never want to be like in a position where like I had to live on campus or live in a, like, you know how like Cedar Point does those apartment buildings? Yeah, you know how Cedar Point does those apartment buildings for people?
Those party apartments.
I'm not the party apartments. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like, I want my freedom a little bit, but also it's because of stuff like this. And, you know, obviously, Alice, this is Ask a Manager.
It's like you're at work 24/7.
Well, yeah. Oh my god, when I was in college, I actually auditioned to be an RA, and you would have thought
Audition?
that. It sounds dramatic, but let me explain. You would have thought that this was like American Idol. There was like rounds of interviews, and then there was like, I remember there's one afternoon, it was like hours spent doing these like tests, and like it'd be stuff like you with a table of 500 people, and you know to do like a puzzle, and basically everyone's trying to be like the leader at the table, and like it was just ridiculous. And I'm so glad I didn't get it because like you're just always the bad guy. I'm sorry.
I would never want to be an RA, but
You're
I
either
wanted.
a bad RA or a bad guy.
I
Those
always
are
wanted
your
to be.
options.
I'd never wanted to be an RA, but I wanted to be those people who checked IDs at the front door. That always seemed like a fun job.
I did that at the gym for 4 years, and I loved it. I missed that part-time job.
When I worked in college, I worked at a convenience store. Man, that was the greatest job.
It was just what was so great about it was like I just sat there and did homework or whatever I wanted to do.
Did you have to go like overnight, do overnights?
I did an early shift one time, and that sucked. The 6 to 9 shift sucked. I hated that. But I loved doing the 10 to midnight shift because no one would be at the gym. So it would be so easy.
That's true.
So
Whoa.
I don't know. I mean,
Woo.
I feel bad for her, but like, I mean,
What was the
that's
official
part
advice that they gave?
just be fair, like straightforward. Because she implied too that like, well, if I can't have my partner come visit for longer stays, then like I might not reapply for the job. Like I might not stay on for the job, and I think that's fair. But like at the same time, like
Didn't you kind of know what you're getting into though?
yes, I think it's like if you're gonna be a resident, like it looks like her position. She's like basically like an RA for a boarding school, right?
Yeah.
In a way, she's a residential faculty member. So it's like you have to realize like you're gonna be around these kids, and there are gonna be limitations. I don't agree with the limitations, but I'm not the dean of the school.
At our dorms in college, I remember the owners of the buildings, the owners of the dorms, actually had an apartment in the dorm. They lived in the dorm.
Oh wow, that's actually really wild. My freshman year RA was great. Sophomore year RA, I don't remember him at all. And I was off campus for my other 2 years, but
I honestly don't know if I ever met. I obviously met my RAs, but I never had any issues. So I don't ever remember like besides like the intro, like first week when I'm like, oh, I'm your RA. Let me know if you have any problems. I don't ever remember seeing them ever again.
see, and that's the kind of RA that like I feel like you want to be, right? You don't want to like get involved because then people are gonna be like coming to you with everything, and
Remember
I
they
mean, I
had,
guess
like,
that's why you're
office
there
hours when
for,
they had
but-
to be in their dorm room.
Yes.
Oh,
So draining. Well, that's all I got for you. Just never be part
Now
of
I'm
a boarding school
reminiscing on
staff.
college life. You know what's crazy? Is my
What?
my freshman year college dorm was co-ed.
Really?
Wild? Isn't that wild?
Oh,
It
mine was too.
on the totally opposite spectrum of what we're talking about. But
But wait,
hey,
co-ed, like we were like it was like men on one side of the building, female on the other side of the building.
ours was mixed.
So it was mixed. Oh, that's really interesting.
I should clarify: the physical rooms weren't mixed. Like it was boy, boy, girl, girl. But like your next door, the person in the dorm literally next to you could be opposite gender.
What's funny about
And we shared the
college-
bathroom. It was a co-ed bathroom.
It was a co-ed bathroom?
Yeah.
I feel like the girls must have hated that.
They were because basically the thing is like when they would take showers, we just take huge dumps.
That is so college and imbecile. I remember with at college the freshman dorms at college were Satowski, which I was part of, and that was jokingly called Slatowski. And then you had Murphy Hall, the Dirty Murph, which was like basically like you wanted vile, like the most vile things happened. There was like a tub in the basement that people would use,
What?
which is disgusting, and like some of the rooms were like 4 people living in like a giant room, and like they like pretty much had to,
I
like,
want to know more about this tub in the basement.
I
that
just
people would
I
use.
vaguely remember. I just remember like there'd be a tub and people would use it, and like people would like throw up in the washing machines and Dirty Murph. Like it was just like it was like a hepatitis C zone kind of place. It just was not a good place. And then the third hall was Pacelli, and it was called the library, because it was like basically where all the quiet kids were. Which it's like, how does a dorm get like that reputation? Like, it's not like the
Because
RAs
it's a random
are like,
assignment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like not like the RAs are like, oh, this quiet bitch gets to go to Pachel, like, or like, oh, this vile mofo is going to Murphy. I don't understand how like some of these. I get the Murphy one because they were nasty.
It's almost like you kind of got to live up to the reputation of the dorm you get in.
Yes, it's like a self declared prophecy almost. So
We kind of had some of those too. There was one that was really, really kind of like on the edge of campus, and man, that one was just trouble. They had a police station in it. There was so much trouble in there.
They were like active on crime almost.
The police were like literally in the lobby, like they stationed there. It was so bad.
My sophomore year, the dorm I was at was Miller Hall. Do you want to take a guess at the nickname that Miller Hall had?
I can't even guess.
It's so stupid. Miller Light Hall.
Of course.
Which like, it's like, who created that? Because it's like stupid but kind of funny, but like really more stupid.
You got to research this tub in the basement and let me know more about that. I still want to know about this tub.
If anyone listening went to John Carroll with me and can tell me more about the tub.
Because I'm thinking of like a clawfoot, one of those classic clawfoot tubs, porcelain, just sitting there all alone.
I mean, like, from what I remember, it was like who knows? I really don't. I just remember there was a tub in the basement. That's what I remember. I don't know how true it is or if it was just like a joke or a rumor, but
college was so wild. I remember my first week, someone crapped in the elevator. Like, that was the first week. Like, man.
God. I was so lucky, though. I lived on the first floor both years.
Oh, that sucks.
No, first floor is the best. You just
it is
walk
absolutely
out.
not the best.
Oh my God, it so is. You just walk out. Boom.
Nope. I was on the 12th floor.
Oh my God, talk about if there's like a fire in the building, you're toast. You're screwed.
There was fire drills all the time because it was known that like that dorm, like everyone always pulled because there's no cameras in the halls, and so people just pull it at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And
that happened one time, and it was like at 2 a.m. and I wanted to murder someone.
My roommate ripped our smoke detector off the wall and locked the door, and we were just like, we're not going.
I'm telling you, man. That 12th floor situation is not pretty.
All right, we
but
good?
Then again, you went to University of Akron for your undergrad, though, right?
Yeah, and then
I guess
Cleveland
that's why it makes sense that you want to be on the 12th floor because not a great neighborhood.
Oh, it's fine. I like it there.
All right. Well, we've reminisced about 2020 in college all in one episode, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So.
Well, next week we're going to have a surprise cooking up from Paul. It's a special next week, but I don't know if we should say anything about it.
No, let it just simmer. We'll just let it simmer.
Okay.
I got something cooking.
I'm excited. All right, until next time, peace out.
Later.